Every time we get together with friends, our conversation is never complete unless we talk about health. So I said, let me try and talk to you all today. My experiments with my body. Are you fat and 40? Dissected and constipated? Upright? Overworked? And losing your vanity? And also losing your virility? My friends, don't despair. You can still shape up your those spare tires, regain those rocket hard muscles, and feel ready to take on the half the population of the world. I mean the female half. I'm often reminded of the Arabic proverb: he who has health has hope, and he who has hope has everything. Simply said, my friend, Tandrusti Hazar Nyamat. I thank God I have never lost health nor hope so far. And also, following the Voltaire's advice, he says that everyone should be his own physician. I took his advice seriously and followed, and always examined my body, made my own diagnosis, and took my health in my hands. I'd always believed in strenuous exercises. I had no patience with yoga, which I found boring. Being a soldier, besides exertions that did not make me sweat out the poison in my system and leave me pleasantly exhausted, was not my concept of exercises, and I don't think it will ever be. Curiously enough, though I had reconciled myself of being a second-rate sports person, I continue to indulge in vigorous sports like hockey, basketball, tennis, horse riding, besides swimming and cycling. My friends, outwardly, I always manage to look better than most of the men of my age. I have a firm conviction that you stuff your stomach every day. How do you expect your body to cope up with it? Therefore, I feel that intermittent fasting is the only solution, which I do it. Remember that before fasting, stomach must be thoroughly cleansed. Otherwise, the body tends to absorb the festering food that is in. And I don't feel shy telling that taking an enema once in a while is of real great benefit. Yes, in winters, I avoid cold baths and take occasional tablets of vitamin C, because I feel that's the only answer to common cold and nothing else. All my life, I had a very an unpleasant trait of making people, mocking people with punches. I used to say, let your body be like a varnished gold, no ills ever befall it. Now, since I myself have a nice looking paunch, therefore the mocking others has comes to a natural halt. My friend, remember what I feel, that Indians in their 40s should be particularly careful with their bodies. The burden of the country rests heavily on the shoulders of the university education and the affluent, who form a very small proportions of the population of the country. It is in the 40s that they usually come to their top of their professions or their businesses, and it is in the 40s they begin to indulge themselves in more food, maybe more drinks than is necessary for them. Keep indifferent hours, take less exercise, and usually begin to suffer from ailments like ulcers, piles, high blood pressure, etc., diabetes, which take a heavy toll of their efficiency and eventually kill them also often. My friend, it is the 40s and the 50s that they must, if they have not learned before, control their diet and exercise. The moral is that a rich man who wants to be healthy must learn to live like a poor man. If do not do so, they will only murder themselves and be guilty of homicide in their second degree. A simple rule for diet was prescribed in Quran and also told by the Prophet Muhammad, and also Jewish book Talmud, that 1/3 of the stomach should have food and 1/3 drink, and remaining third should be empty. I don't think any other community followed this advice than the Jainis. Amazing. It will be borne in mind that more people die of overeating and drinking than are killed in any war. Danny Kaye, the celebrated comedian, he writes in his book, and he keeps repeating in various radio programs. He keeps coming. When he is asked about the secret of his youthful vitality, he was 75 and he looked 55, and his answer used to be simple in his interviews and in his announcements. That he said, I take little exercises. He said, it take me more than few seconds twice a day. You do it, you will remain fit all your life. And everybody, surprisingly, they ask back, a few seconds twice a day? What is this magical exercise? What kind of exercise is this? He replies smilingly that at lunch and at dinner, when I am offered a second helping, I waggle my head and indicate no. My friend, the guiding principle should be, what I follow is to eat little and eat right. Everyone should carefully watch the kind of food, disagree with him, and rigorously eliminate them from his diet. I find milk and milk products, except curd maybe, make me sluggish or bilious. Cake, pastries, cheese, all kinds of sweets give me flatulence, although I love sweets. So do highly spiced things. Similarly, so do these highly spiced things like chaat or bhel. Whenever I indulge in them, the self-generated gas in the stomach makes me like a jet plane. Other takes all these in their stride, but are upset by meat, eggs and salt. I feel it is best to prepare your own menu, keeping in mind that it must ensure regular, easy evacuations. A constipated stomach, my friend, is not clean. Even a mild toothache will be aggravated. Athlete's foot becomes more itchy and dandruff erupts in your scalp. Keep your stomach clean. means you keep your bowels going. A dietitian friend of mine, she tells me, Zahid, control your intake of calories and you will not put an extra ounce. And I learned to miss a meal to compensate for the overindulgence of the day before. I feel that there is no better place for studying your body and satisfying the things, rectifying things which have gone wrong than joining a health club. At least it keeps a record of your girth, your blood pressure, your weight, and a slightest deviation, you will be told immediately what to do about it. Other hand, I've read and heard so many famous men have written a lot of rubbish about health, like people who spend most of the time watching their health have little time to enjoy it. To some extent, I agree. It is true that health should not become an obsession, and there should be, but there has to be a certain amount of calculated carelessness about it. That's it. But I feel it must be your top priority in every one scale of values. My friend, the great Hakim Luqman, writing on the health has been translated by a Western white Jonathan Swift, and his advice is very simple. He says, Dr. Diet, Dr. Quiet, and Dr. Merriman as the best three doctors in the world, meaning that we must watch our food. We must teach ourselves the art of quiet solitude, and sure cheerfulness will follow as the night the day. Thank you very much.